to my channel. I'm back this week with another video for you guys, but today we're going to be doing a very exciting review. We're going to be reviewing the brand new Tarte Rainforest of the Sea High Tides and Good Vibes eyeshadow palette. If you guys want to see a review, demo, tutorial, pretty much a very in-depth look at this palette, keep on watching. But if you're not a part of the Pauline family yet, don't forget to subscribe to my channel before you leave. And yeah, let's get into this Tarte palette review. So as always, let's start with facts. This palette is $39 and it says that it is an eyeshadow palette stocked with 8 powder eyeshadows and 4 high-impact glitter gel toppers. It is free of parabens, formaldehyd, phthalates, mineral oil, and treacle sun. It is also cruelty-free and gluten-free. And then it says that we need to know that you can switch up your look as often as the tide changes with 8 buttery, super blendable matte and luster shades in a powder formula. The 4 high-impact gel glitter topper shades can be used alone or over a shadow to add a deep sea sparkle to any look. These formulas are infused with antioxidant-rich marine plant extract to help hydrate and soften your eyelids. And then the 8 luster and matte eyeshadows are 0.053 ounces, and then the 4 glitter eyeshadows are 0.06 ounces. So the pan size is also pretty big. So now that we have the details, let's take a look at the swatches of this palette. So this is the shade Galapagos, then there's Aloha Beaches, then there's Beach Therapy, and then there's Buried Gold. We have the Dive In, then we have Surfs Up, then we have the Blue, and lastly South Beach. And now I'm going to be trying the glitter shades without glitter glue, and then I'm going to show you how they look with glitter glue as a swatch. So this is without any glue. We have Turtlet, Aquaholic, Champagne Beach, and Beach Days. Now in the same order, we have them with some glitter glue right next to that. We have Turtlet, Aquaholic, Champagne Beach, and Beach Days. And the glue I used was the Too Faced glitter glue, which is also the glue I'm going to be using on my eyes when I'm applying the eyeshadows. And now let's take a look at the packaging. This is the box that it comes in. I usually don't show the boxes, but I feel like this box is really extra. And now this is what the palette looks on the outside. That blue liquid you see actually moves around. Like when you move the palette, it moves around. It is so cute. You got a little turtle and some seaweed in there. It looks very shiny, looks very luxurious. It looks very creative. And now on the inside, this is what the shades look like. As you can tell, you get a very generous size pan with a gold, and you also get the shades right there written out for you, so you don't have to look around for them. And you get a humongous mirror. Look at that mirror. I know I'm gonna blind you guys with my ring light. So now that we took a look at everything in the palette besides how it applies, let's get to applying these eyeshadows to see how they apply, blend, and build up on the eyes. So I'm gonna try to use as many shades as possible to show you how they all work, but I'm gonna start off with the crease, and I'm gonna be using the shade Beach Therapy with my JH30. Right off the bat, this shade doesn't have kickback in the pan. It has like a very faint mist, but it doesn't have an exaggerated amount of kickback, which is nice. I'm gonna put this in windshield wiper motions in the upper crease. Yeah, I definitely really like this color as a transition. It's very easy to blend, very blendable. It doesn't look like it's very pigmented in the pan, but for the color of this shade, it has a lot of pigment. And it also smells like chocolate, just like every other Tarte eyeshadow. And now I'm gonna go in with my JH35 and the shade South Beach, which is a very peachy pink. One of the things that I'm not crazy about this palette is that it only has 3 matte shades, and it was the same thing with the Mermaid palette I reviewed last year. That one only had like 2, so you can only do so much with the crease with this palette. However, you can always grab another Tarte palette and have a very neutral crease and have a pop of color with the shades in this palette. Again, this shade doesn't have any kickback in the pan, but it's pigmented on the eye, which is something I don't see very often. Usually pigmented eyeshadows have a lot of kickback in the pan. That is not happening with this palette. Going in windshield wiper motions, this peachy shade is definitely blending very effortlessly into the previous transition. So now I'm gonna go in with the darkest matte shade, which is Aloha Beaches. It's not too dark, but I think it's still gonna give this a little bit of dimension. And I'm gonna be using my JH37. This shade doesn't have kickback in the pan either. This shade, it's kind of there. Like, you can kind of tell it's a little bit darker right here, but it's nothing crazy. So I'm gonna go in with my JH34 because I feel like this is more pointed and it's gonna grab more product and put it where I want it to be. It's dipping up the crease just a tiny bit, but I feel like it's not dark enough to give me the dimension I'm looking for. I'm gonna build it up and see. So I changed my brush, and this brush is picking up a little more kickback in the pan, but it's nothing crazy. And now I'm gonna go in with my JH30 just just gonna re-blend the upper crease so that every shade merges together. Alright, so this is not my favorite shade ever, but it's not bad. I think it's just personal preference. I do like my deeper transition to be a little darker than what this is giving me. So now I'm gonna grab my Alamar brush. It's a flat shader brush, and I'm gonna grab the shade Galapagos, which is a matte shimmery brown, and I'm gonna put this on the third of the eye. I'm gonna do like an ombre effect with the glittery shades. I'm not gonna be using any Fix Plus for these shades because first of all I usually don't, and second of all I want to see how they work on their own with nothing to kind of help them out. You know, usually I like to build up shades with my finger, but this one's building up very nicely with a brush, which is something nice for a shimmery shade. I'm also getting zero kickback in the pan. Now I'm gonna go in with my JH34, kind of blend this edge right here. No additional product on the brush. And also this shimmery shade is blending into the matte shades so effortlessly. With this one I did have a little bit of fallout on my face, so I'm just gonna dust this away before it sets into my concealer. Alright, so now we're gonna move on to the fun ones. I'm gonna go in with the shade Beach Days, which is like a pinkish color, and I'm gonna put it on the second third of the eye. And I'm gonna grab that one with my E57 by Sigma. So with this color, since they are kind of pressed glitters, I'm gonna try to apply them dry. But I mean, they're a glitter, they're gonna stick to a glue, so I'm gonna try to apply them dry, and then I'm gonna put on some glitter glue and pack them on top of that because I want to give them a fair shot because they're glitters, they're not eyeshadows pretty much. See, like when you put them like that alone, it's kind of like putting a loose glitter on your face without putting any glue, and you can kind of see a little something in there, but that's not the full capacity of this eyeshadow. And they do look beautiful if you want to do like a very natural glittery look, so you can use them dry like this, but I want them to pop, so I'm gonna grab some glitter glue. I'm gonna grab the Too Faced glitter glue on the same Sigma E57, a little tiny dot, and I'm gonna put it on the middle third of the eye right here. And now very quickly I'm gonna grab that shade and I'm gonna pack it where the glue is. You see the difference? Ooh, I love it. So finely milled. It sticks to the glue, but it also blends into the other eyeshadows you have down. Gonna grab that same JH34 we've been using, and I'm gonna blend this upper edge right here. And now with the same Sigma E57, I'm gonna grab a little bit more glue. I'm gonna put it on the first third of the eye, and on this empty space, I'm gonna put the shade Champagne Beach. Ooh, oh my god, look at that. Isn't that insane? Wow. And it's blending into the other glitter very nicely. As you can tell, I'm kind of patting them right here so that they look blended and not like a very harsh line, and they're cooperating really nicely with me. Going in with the JH34, doing the same thing we've been doing, blending the upper crease. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in with my JH42 in the shade Buried Gold, and I'm gonna use this on my inner corner and brow bone. It's a very champagne-y color. It will look really good as a face highlighter too. So now we're gonna get to the blues. I'm first gonna go in with my Alamar flat brush and the shade Dive In, and I'm gonna stamp this very close to my lash line on the bottom lashes. Pigment is definitely there. You know, on my next video, I'm definitely gonna be doing a look using all the blues on the top because that color is insane. And now I'm gonna grab my JH38 and the shade Deep Blue, which is definitely like my favorite shade in this whole palette, and I'm gonna blend that color out. Well, that pigment though, whoa. Deep Blue blends out very effortlessly. The same brush, I'm gonna grab some of the shade Beach Therapy, which is that first transition we used, and we're gonna place it right under the blues just to blend it into my under eye a little bit better. I do have to say, this one did have a little bit of fallout, but all of the shades I have used so far are getting a 10 out of 10 on blendability. They are being so incredibly easy to blend. Every single one, even the glitters, the shimmers, the satins, the mattes, they're blending like a dream. So now I'm gonna grab my Sigma E21. I'm gonna grab some of the glitter glue, and I'm gonna put it right here on the inner third on my lower lashes to the second third on my lower lashes. I'm first gonna go in with the shade Aquaholic, which is like the most beautiful blue glitter. I'm gonna put it right here. You see that glitter? Oh my god. I don't know about you, but this is my favorite glitter in this whole palette. So I'm gonna grab my JH38 real quick with the shade Surf's Up, because I completely forgot to use that shade. And I'm gonna put it under these two just to lighten up the transition. It definitely added like a minty transition into the blue, making it a little brighter, which I do like. Now I'm grabbing a tiny bit more glue, putting it on the very inner third right here. And I'm gonna grab the shade Tortolette, which is a silver. And I'm gonna pack that silver glitter right here. That's pretty. That silver is very fine. I'm gonna put some of that on the inner corner, because why not? I do have to add, those shades did have some fallout on the under eye, but they did wipe away and they didn't leave any stains. So I'm gonna add some mascara. I'm gonna be using some Milani Most Wanted Lashes mascara. I'm gonna grab some Laura Mercier Caviar Stick in Plum, and I'm gonna put it on the waterline. I feel like the waterline looks so bland, just white. Alright, so I know I usually don't like to put false lashes when I'm doing an eyeshadow review, but this glittery look will not look put together and good if I don't put a pair of falsies. So I'm gonna grab Claudia number 6 by Huda Beauty, and I'm gonna put these on and I'll be right back. And I'm also gonna do this eye as well. Alright guys, so these are the eyes completely done. I used every single shade in the palette, and as you can tell, every single shade blended into each other very nicely. I do have to say, I ended up using some Sasha number 11 lashes by Huda Beauty, not the Claudia ones, and I didn't put any eyeliner to cover the eyeshadow. So as you can tell, you can still see everything, even though I put on some lashes. Alright, so now that the makeup is on, let's talk first impressions. I am obsessed with the packaging on this palette. I feel like that is a huge plus. It is also very heavy, like it feels very high quality, and it's $39. However, I feel like for the quality of these eyeshadows, you get a humongous mirror. For the quality of the packaging and how beautiful it looks, $39 is an amazing price, and you get some really gorgeous, unique colors in here. Of course, the transition shades are very basic. I do really like the peachy one, the South Beach. That's a color that's not in every single palette. I know Beach Therapy is just a normal orange. I wasn't obsessed with Aloha Beaches. It's a pretty color, but I feel like I need something a little bit deeper. Although I do like how having that light transition makes the glitters pop. Like as you can tell, the blue on my lower lash line is popping. Like you can see it from a mile away because my transition is not too deep, which I guess is a plus. I also really like the shade Buried Gold. It literally looks like Champagne Pop by Becca and Jaclyn Hill. I would definitely put that on my face. You can definitely use it as a highlighter, so you do get that in there as well. Formula wise, I like the formula on every single one of these eyeshadows. Usually there's a shade in the palette that doesn't blend nice, that doesn't look good, but in this palette, every single shade blended amazingly. Every single shade is really pigmented. Every single shade built up nicely. I feel like it looks very put together and dramatic in a very small amount of time, so this is very beginner friendly. You know what I also really like is the size of the pans in this palette. Like they are huge. Like they're not little tiny shells like their mermaid palette. Like if you saw my review last year, I really love that palette, but it just needed a little bit something more, and that is what we got this year with this one. So far, this palette is getting a good 10 out of 10 for me, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little word test to see if the glitter goes all over my face, because that is something that happens with glitters a lot, and if the glitters go all over my face, I'm not gonna be too happy. So right now, it is 2:21 in the afternoon. I'm gonna be doing a check-in at around midnight, so in 10 hours, maybe 11 if I stay up till 1. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in a few hours to see my actual final thoughts on these eyeshadows. Alright guys, so right now it is 12:41 in the morning. So I've had this makeup on for 10 hours and around 30 minutes. This palette didn't flake on my face. I know I did put a glitter glue, but I didn't get any glitter on my face, which is a big plus. It did transfer a little bit onto the crease, but I mean, my crease is folded, so when I have my eye open and looking forward, you can't see glitter on the crease. It's just when I close it, you can see where kind of my two lids touch. That's where it kind of transferred. However, the glitter is still pretty much intact. My eye makeup literally looks like I did it 10 minutes ago, not 10 hours ago. So these eyeshadows last forever. The shimmery shade on the brow bone is still there, still popping. The glitter is still there where I placed it. The only things that I touched up on my face were my lipstick. I put on some gloss, and my T-zone, I did powder that. But besides that, I didn't touch up my makeup on my eyes at all. So every single shade in this palette I did use used in today's video. Every single one of these shades was really pigmented. Every single one of them blended amazingly. Even the shimmer shades went on pretty smoothly with no fix plus and with brushes. Usually I use shimmer shades with my fingers. I didn't have to do that in this video. I know I did use a glue for the glitter shades. However, if you don't want to do that extra step of using a glue, you can use them as a topper for another eyeshadow, which is what it says on the website. Also, I am obsessed with this packaging. This is literally the prettiest palette I have. So yeah, it is a 10 out of 10 for me. I like pretty much everything and it did everything it was supposed to do. I guess that is it for this video. I hope you guys liked this review. If you did, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe to my channel before you leave. And I will see you on my next video. Bye guys.